Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dr. Music Podcast. And today is a friendly, familiar face that all Dr. Music Podcast listeners know. Dale George Lytle from Angeles is with me today. Always great to have Dale return visit. The door is always open to him. He began his journey with Angeles back in 1977. Platinum debut, We're No Angels. They found themselves playing the hottest clubs in Hollywood with bands like Quiet Riot, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, the whole slew of them. Over the years, Dale and Angeles have continued to make music with recent songs like Running Like an Outlaw and Band Plays On hitting the charts. Angeles has just released two more singles. Crimes of Insanity and Raising Hell on the Sunset Strip. Still looking to get that chart success over and over. It's great. They have also just released a video for another song called Just Do It, along with a video for Crimes of Insanity, which is perfect for this Halloween season. Real creepy, cool video. We're going to find out what Dale and Angeles have cooking for the rest of 2023 and beyond. Dale, always a pleasure to have you, my friend.
Oh, it's great to be here. And
Yeah.
great. You take really fantastic photos. And I
Thank
can't wait to get in front of your lens.
that would be so great.
On my legs. In my chair, I hurt, messed up my knee. And the last series of shows we've been doing have been in a chair,
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
but, as you get older, things happen. And
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But you're out there, you're doing it. And it's not easy. Even the young kids, it's grueling, So it's great to have you out there. It's great that you're making music, all this music. I mean, it's just constant for you. It's so great. We're as fans, we're really thankful to have you out there and still making music. It's fantastic. Uh,
it's a lot of fun. I'm working on something right now, though. It's actually, I think I might have talked about it the last time I was speaking with you. It's called No Rhyme or Reason.
mhm.
And for some reason, I cannot figure out. It's just not coming together vocally. The
Okay.
song's there, it's recorded. I'm supposed to go in next Wednesday and lay down, well, my leads. That's not an issue, but the vocals and the overall concept and whether it's going to stay that or not. And I'm just, for some reason, hitting a brick wall with it. And I've got like something this, something that, or tear it up this, tear it up that, or I don't know.
Uh,
I'm all over the map with it. And I just like, I keep putting it off, and I've got it. And I don't know. It's one of those things where, I'm a little stuck on what to do, where to go.
yeah. That's great though. I mean, that's the artist in you. It's you could put it out at, half-assed or not perfect, but it's inside of you to it's got to hit you. It's got to feel good. It's got to feel right. And we appreciate that. We notice that because I think there's some artists out there that, don't settle for that kind of perfection. And it kind of shows, it's not exactly what they wanted, but it was, they rushed to get it out, or
Yeah.
so yeah, take your time. It'll come to you, my friend. It'll come to you.
Yeah.
I know it will.
I appreciate your confidence. I can't believe it right now. It's like we just got done knocking out. I just got done knocking out three of them. And I want to give a shout out to Connie for the video on Crimes of Insanity. I think she did a great job on that one.
Man, is it incredible. Bravo, Connie. That's what a video. It's really, really cool. Like I say, great for this Halloween season. It's really spooky with the zombies and the cross, and
Yeah,
it's yeah, for anybody who hasn't seen it, there'll be a link in the description here. Click on that and you won't be disappointed. It's a fantastic song and a fantastic video. It's really cool. Do you have fun doing those videos? They got to be pretty tedious, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, come on over here, Connie.
Dang it.
She's not really ready, but
I'm not ready.
Okay. Hi, Connie.
Hi.
Fantastic. Great job on that video. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Actually, that was one. It was one that I really enjoyed doing.
Yeah, it looks like it would be a lot of fun, but it looks really, really tough. It looks difficult.
Well, it wasn't that difficult, honestly, because I don't know. I guess I went in that zone,
Yeah.
so to speak. I guess I have a dark side.
Yeah.
you got me.
What you say. But yeah, it was fun. I
Yeah.
enjoyed doing that one a lot. I
Well,
kept telling them I am enjoying this.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes the videos don't go so well and it's harder to do, but this one was really fun.
Man, and it looks like one of the more difficult ones, it's great that everybody in it did a great job. It's just really fun to watch for sure.
But thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for making it for sure.
Okay.
um you got a new single, Raising Hell on the Sunset Strip, right? On the strip.
Uh-huh.
It's how cool is that? You're going back to the beginnings and kind of writing about it. That had to be pretty cool.
It was really that it came together pretty. All I did was tell a story, and that I've pretty much told over and over. And there's a line: Stephen and the boys standing in front of me and making the sign of the cross, and that's Ratt. They were standing, Stephen and
Right.
Robin and Juan and the whole gang it was at the Troubadour. And then I talk about Dee Dee, and
Right.
she was the one booking the bands, and then Betsy, also, and she's going to be in our documentary along with Dee Dee Keel, and she's we're waiting for a clip right now, and we got one from Betsy already, and the documentary's coming along really well,
Man.
which is really good. So it starts from that time period, like the early '80s, to now. So it's and I just put those words came together. I'm snorting coke, all night. I mean, that's what everybody was doing. They were partying
Right.
back then, and
Yep.
it was it's just the way it was. It's not. I'm not going to lie about it or hold back. It's just what happened back in the day.
Sure.
And I think there's harder, more dangerous drugs out there now.
Right.
I mean, there's heroin that was there. John Belushi. Well, I couldn't remember what's that called when you shoot up. What is it? Speed or coke and heroin?
Oh yeah, that is
called? Ball.
yeah, man. Oh yeah, a lot of guys have passed because of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that it was that wasn't happening in the 80s really. That it was 80s I always view as a very happy time, man. Everybody, it was just excess and out of enjoyment, and everybody felt pretty free, and that was one of the byproducts of that, I think. Just that that coke was the thing that was happening.
It was just there, and it was like so common, and it's what it was. But it was a great time. Just the fun and the music and the excitement, and the rainbow was always packed. It's another line I put in that song.
Right.
It was just always packed. I mean, and you didn't know who was upstairs. I was going to put another line. I was there one time, and you couldn't go upstairs because Paige was up there. It was blocked off.
Okay.
And they were wild and crazy times, and they were a lot of fun. And it's not like that so much anymore. It's like more. It's the world's in a weird state right now with everything going on. It's actually very scary times. I think. I mean, it's real frightening. Israel and Hezbollah and Hamas and the Iran and China and you got all the all the, it's something to be concerned about.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. And we're talking about the 80s. That was another thing that, I just it's everybody seemed to be fairly peaceful.
It
You
was,
had some breakouts, but it
yeah.
was a different world. It was a lot much simpler, it seems. And people were enjoying it a little more, generally, So
Yeah, I definitely agree to 100%.
yeah,
It's they were, you
yeah,
know, even the 70s weren't that terribly bad.
right.
The time of Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and all the great bands. Not that the 80s didn't have great bands, but the 70s, there were 69. Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath,
Right.
Grand Funk Railroad. I mean, and Iron Butterfly, Ron Bushy, they all came out of that great era of music. It was just really cool.
Yeah, and I
And
think it paved the road for what we had in the 80s, really.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, Eddie still says that, Black Sabbath was, Tony was definitely, I think, the grandfather of heavy metal.
Yeah.
He laid down the dark chords, the lower tuning. Black Sabbath really did lay down that groundwork for a lot of what's going on today.
Yeah.
Even today, with the people going all the way to Drop C, and
Right.
that's what Crimes of Insanity. I'm tuned down a whole step, and then I'm tuning down my D to a C.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm way
Yeah.
down there on that one.
Yeah.
And
It's
and
got that, it has that Ozzy feel to it. Really. It's got that Sabbathy kind of darkness to it. Uh,
yeah,
and that mixed with the video, it's priceless. It's genius. It's great. I love it.
I think I'm really proud of my wife, Connie.
Yeah.
I think she put together just a great. It's like a movie. I almost feel like I ended up doing a soundtrack to her movie.
Right. That's how it seems. Yeah. I mean, they fit together so well. It's really
Yeah,
great. It's really
it
great.
really worked out really good. Yeah, it's like, and then we played that song live for our second time in Detroit a little over a week
Cool.
ago with White Lion and
Excellent.
Mike Tramp from White
Yeah.
Lion,
Right.
and I was watching it back. Somebody shared it on the video page, and it really, I mean, I pulled it off. We pulled it off. The band pulled it off really,
Yeah.
uh, real well. And there's like when I start singing, there's really no music. The drums are going, and the bass is breaking up, but it's really fun.
Yeah.
And I think I was able to capture a lot of it, with the way I hold some of the notes and stuff, and having to learn the phrasing of that. I was in bed for like a straight week, and I had nothing better to do but sit there and listen and watch that video and just do it, And it's just, but if you're down because of something, I I try to take advantage and so I studied. That's what I did. I
Yeah.
sat there and studied. I got to remember all the lyrics after you're done with the stuff.
Right. Right.
Like honestly, I have no clue. I've never played Raising Hell in the Sunset Strip yet. I've never done them both
Yeah.
together. So once I get past next Wednesday,
Hmm.
I've got to now start working on getting that so we can play it live.
Man,
And
that's
the
cool.
next chore, and it's just bam, bam, bam. It's learning, which is good for your brain. It keeps you,
Yep.
you know, a little bit, more,
Yep.
you know.
Oh yeah.
But
Man,
crazy,
that's it.
crazy.
It's great. It's great that you're that active. Like I say, the rigors of the road are tough. And when you're not on the road, you're studying and doing your thing. It's great to see.
Yeah,
Really
it's
great.
work.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
people a lot of people, I think, I don't know what they think, but it's a lot of work. I mean, whether they know it or not, it takes, you write stuff, you write vocal things, you write the lyrics, and then you got to go back and learn it. You got
Right.
to,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
it's a lot, but it's fun. I mean, there's nothing in the world I would rather be doing than once in a while go fishing.
Yeah.
You know,
There you go. Yeah,
love it.
that's beautiful. Yeah, you've been able to do what you love in your life. Not a whole lot of people get to do that, really. So it's pretty special. It's really great to have you doing it too. We get to enjoy it for sure.
Well, that's what matters. I mean, if it wasn't for people enjoying it, there's no reason for me to do it. And you got to have people. People have to enjoy it,
Yeah.
and that makes you feel good. It
Yeah.
makes you want to do it more. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and there's a lot of people out there that enjoy it for sure. I have to ask you, you've got these singles, you've got, you had a few after running Like an Outlaw. Um, do you have a full, is it going to be a full length album? Are you gonna
Yes.
release, you're going to release a full length? Okay.
Yeah. I got two more to do. No rhyme or reason or whatever it's going to be called.
I,
And there's another one. I'm not sure. Right now, the name's Hot Sex, but I'm not sure if that's going to go. I'm going to fly with that or not. I'm not positive.
okay.
And then if we're going to release all the singles that I've done vocally, and put them on a final CD.
Excellent.
Probably going to be called Crimes of Insanity.
Okay. Nice, nice. Yeah, you've taken over on vocals. You're playing guitar and vocal now. Over the years, you've had a couple people step in there. Do you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
yourself doing vocals from now on? Do you enjoy it?
Yes, very much.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's no drama with singers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We all know
Oh,
that could be difficult.
yeah. And you know what? I might not be as great as some singers, like, Lynch Mob's got great singers. I mean, there's so many people that have great vocalists, and they really are great vocalists. And I'm not what I consider, but if I could get the job done and I could get the point across live and I could get it across on the CDs or whatever they are, songs, then I'm good with that. And I don't like the dealing with singers. They're really rough. I mean, uh, there's been so many, and they're. I don't think the heart's in it. Like bands aren't bands anymore, and very very few are. And Danny lives here. He's in the other room right now. Our bass player's on his way over in a few minutes. I actually had to put a stair lift to my room because of my knee. We got some pretty steep stairs in our house, and so he's on his way over. He's going to do something to that. So we're pretty close. We're all real close.
Yeah.
But it's like the day of the Van Halen and the day of the Rolling Stones and bands that were stayed tight, and the singers, even though they all go through fights, the singers and the guitarists, but they managed to work it out over the years, and it seems like the older they get, the less they fight. It's like, oh, you know what? Forget it. It's
Right.
not worth it. And they're starting to put it behind them. And speaking of that, man, let's get a shout out to the Rolling Stones. I mean,
Yeah.
oh man, I mean, Hackney Diamonds. I mean, a great record. They're 80 years old and they're rocking like,
Yep. Unbelievable.
is that just like, that's just amazing, isn't it?
It's inspiring,
Yeah.
I went to see the Stones right after Mick had his heart operation. I mean, like right after. It was like 3 months later. I thought the show was going to be canceled when he had the operation, and he was out there, and it was like it was no different. He's hopping
Right.
around, he's strutting, he's running. I thought,
Yeah.
oh my Lord, that's just that is
Yeah.
man. So anytime I complain about an ache or pain, I think about the Stones getting out there and doing the tours, the rigors of the road. It's not easy, folks. It
Right.
really isn't. And at 80 years old, oh, I can't even imagine it. Great.
Yeah.
It's
I
great.
mean, we even it's like I'm 66 now. I just turned 66,
Hmm?
and we did we went to Illinois and Indiana and played some shows. And last month, I think, or it might have been early this month, a few weeks ago. Well, it hasn't been long,
Yeah.
and uh, it's like after the show, Bill will drive and you sleep, try to sleep, you're half-ass sleep, and you don't really get a good night's sleep at all. And then, you get to the place and you just, you get your second wind and it's just, it's hard at our
Yeah.
age, and
Yep.
I mean, to be 80 years old and to be doing that and even Kiss, I mean, get kudos to them, man. They're 75, 76,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
and isn't Gene 76 or Paul, one of them?
Yeah, I think both of them. Yeah. Yeah, I
They're
think
right
somewhere
there.
around there. Yeah. And they're
And
still,
they just,
they put on the makeup and everything. I mean,
yeah,
that's can't be easy either. Uh,
no,
I mean,
no, not at all.
walking around in
They just
boots
leave
and
them here,
stuff.
tell you.
It's
What's
insane.
that? Okay.
Walking around in the boots and everything, walking
I'm
on your
surprised they
feet.
haven't broken an ankle yet or something,
Yeah. Yeah. But,
Pretty-
it's great. It is. It's
yeah,
really it's inspiring to
it
see this
is.
guys and yourself. You're so prolific and putting out all this music and taking to the road. It's inspiring for all of us. It's really great. It's cool. Do you when you create now, is it like, do you still do it in the same way? Do you still write the same way and create songs in the same way you always did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd definitely say I pick up the guitar and it's usually the first thing I play.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
mean, I don't know why that is, but it's like it always, I come up with the hook that begins everything is when it usually happens the second I pick it up and put it in my lap. I have it right by the couch, right back here,
Mhm.
and I have a little amp, and it's sitting right there. So it's always looking at me in the face. It's always calling
Right.
my name.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and I pick it up, and it's usually that's when it comes out something. And then Connie will run and get the camera, and she knows when it's something new.
Yeah.
And because usually when I pick it up, I rarely go and pick it up, and start playing something that's already written. It's always and she knows enough of my stuff for now where she knows when it's something and that she thinks is cool enough to go get the camera and record it so I can remember it. Because otherwise,
Yeah.
if I were to wait even a few minutes,
Mhm.
I forget, how it went.
Right.
The how it's the attack, you know, um,
Sure.
and it captures the feeling, and then it's there, and you got it, and then you go back and work on it and see which ones. The last album or stuff we were working on, we went through so much stuff. I mean, Scott, it was just like what 200 things.
Something.
I mean, 200 ideas that we had to throw a bunch of stuff, that we didn't. There's just so much.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, and that's got to be fun though too. You have all of that stuff. Not everybody does.
Right.
It's a lot of times there's bands. They have 10 songs on the record. Those are the 10 things they had to work with. They don't have anything else. It doesn't come as easy to a lot of people. So yeah, that's a gift for sure to have that much to work from for sure.
Yeah, but another, it's a lot to do. I've never taking the not time to learn other people's music.
Mhm.
You know, I've rarely done that. I played Whole Lot of Love with Claire, Piece of My Heart with Claire, White Rabbit with Claire.
Right.
With Gwen, I don't think we did anything with Gwen. Not what Lewis didn't learn nothing. I know how to play, but you know, Jumpin' Jack Flash. You know,
Right.
I
Right.
mean, literally, I mean, I never had a record player in my life, so I never ever. And when I was younger, it was only what I heard on the radio. It was Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, The Stones, The
Right.
Who, and I've just never ever really, you know, sat down and other than Whole Lot of Love to learn that solo. And now you got computers and you can, you know, see how it's played. And
Right.
you know, it's just something I never, every time I would go to try and learn something. Well, I never had a record player anyways. I lived wherever we rehearsed back in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, I had no family, I had no one. So I
Right.
had my guitar and the people that you know, are fans and friends. They were friends. They were all friends. You
Yeah.
know, they were all friends, you know,
Yeah.
and the ones that are still with us still are, you know,
That's
but
great. That is
yeah,
great. Yeah, and you know, that's the beauty of it, I think. And I think that helped you to create your own radio, if you will. You know,
yeah.
created
I'm
your own music. You know, what you wanted to hear, you created it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got tons of acoustic guitar stuff that no one's ever even heard because I don't quite yet know how to market it.
Right.
And it's like, I mean, there's like God, Country, and King, which is what one that's on Time of Truth, and then there's um, Keeper of the Gate, which is on our first record. That's um, a really good one. In the morning also. So a few of them have made it to you know, a record CD,
Right.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, somewhere down the line, maybe you know, an Angelus unplugged kind of thing. That would be great.
yeah, it would. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
That'd be a lot of
sounds
fun.
that sounds great. That sounds great.
Yeah.
The guitars on these new songs, they just sound really crunchy. They just sound so out there and really, really great sound to these the guitars especially. The you know, these songs are just really done well.
Yeah.
Did you record in the same place? Are you using the same studio? Doing it the same way? Same rig that you usually use?
Yeah, we are going to a place called the Lava Room in Cleveland, and Mike Brown, engineer, and you know, I would say producer as well. And I'm using my EVH,
Okay.
and I'm using my 50 watt through a Marshall cabinet
Okay.
um, with um, greenbacks, and they I love the sound of the 50 watt, and it's the uh, L6Ls um, tubes, and it's just really got a really good tone. And the tone is just really great, a really great tone.
It is.
And yeah, it's the sound is really being captured really well. I really like the way it's sounding
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I hear you know, it's these songs in particular, these two new ones, very, very sharp and they just grab you. I mean, they got a lot of bite.
Yeah,
Really, really great. Sounds great. Uh,
yeah.
Great songs for sure. Um, have you ever, you know, I think about all the different types of, you know, what you do is always Angelus. And you mentioned, you know, these acoustic things that you have on tape and, you know, that nobody has heard. Have you ever thought, because you had keyboards back, you know, in the late 70s,
Yeah.
you know, a couple of things. Have you ever thought of bringing some keyboards or even like a you know a sax or strings something like that into something is has that ever been a thought for you?
Scott, I have in um, one Miracles. We have a song called Miracles, and the album's called Miracles. And it was really, it was what probably the last song Dave and I ever wrote together, Dave Rodman.
Mhm.
And we were together. We did 3 albums together, and actually 4 with that one. And I brought a sax in. I really like how the Stones used the saxophone.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing, things and how they would use the sax. And we did that on this song called Miracles. And I love that sound, that feel. And it's about him being 2 men in a lifetime, because he's now a preacher, domain minister.
Wow.
And back then, he was doing coke and raising hell all night in the Sunset Strip. I mean, we're, we're, with all the girls and having fun. And now he kind of like didn't really like that I put it out there to his people on his Facebook, but they all slowly found out. But it's all right. But the song has got saxophone in it, and it really turned out good. And I got flute in the morning, and but that was way back, like you said, '84.
Yeah.
And I love keyboards. I love putting some sort of strings behind, but to bring somebody in full time, that would be no. But in the studio, I've thought about it, and just the new things haven't quite been there. I mean, Insanity could have been one where I could have had a little bit of something, Crimes of Insanity, but it just didn't. I didn't go there with it. I didn't want to soften it. I wanted to kind of move into the newer era of music, the newer sound, and I'm not sure if a lot of that has it. I wanted the heavier guitar. I wanted, all that. I think I've accomplished that. But I definitely don't want to add any more members. No more singers. If we make it real big and we could afford it someday, and we got some background singers, and I got a keyboardist, and I got a couple extra things, that's fine. I wouldn't mind doing that. I wouldn't mind having a couple background girl singers to help me out in choruses or whatever. But just to overall bring anything more into the band, it's hard enough. I mean, if people know what you have to deal with and go through, and right now we got Danny, and he just does his thing, and like he's been with us now for he was with us back in the 80s for a short time, but we're going like 9 years since John Merritt passed away, and I brought him in from Texas. And then Bill here, he's really relaxed, laid back kind of guy. Me and him do most of the driving in the bus, and it's just nice. The 3 of us together, it's just simple and easy, and there's not a lot of conflict, and it's very uncomplicated. And it's like you get into these bands and you don't want to go to rehearsal, because there's gonna be crap,
all the drama.
All the drama. And I was just reading about Warren, and then you read about Warren Martini from Ratt, and how he doesn't want to go back to the drama, and it's just egos, and it's awful, and then you got this Motley stuff. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on with that crap.
That is just wild. There's so many years that it seemed fine. And they've, Mick has been in that band, and they've existed together. It never seemed a problem with Mick.
No.
And then all of a sudden it's like, and the dirt slinging is, he hasn't played on so many albums, and it's just people are saying this and people are saying that, and it's just a mess. It's just a mess.
I wonder how much of it's true. And
Yeah,
I guess he didn't play on the stadium tour at all.
yeah,
And then I was watching a tape where you literally see, you hear the song start to kick off, and then you see, and he's a great drummer. I mean, Tommy jump up and, and it's already going, and he's not even on his drum stool yet.
right, right.
I mean, you can't fake that. I mean, they're not playing. And I'm like, how do you sit there and play drums and fake it and not hit them?
Yeah, I don't
How
know.
do you do that? I mean, that to me seems harder than to just fucking play them.
Right, right. I don't know. I don't know. And I'd like to say he's a great drummer.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the whole band. I mean, if you can't play, I understand that there's bills to pay and the money is huge in that arena. But it's just not fair to yourself for one thing, and definitely
yeah,
to the fans. So it's a strange situation. It's a strange
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And Grand Funk Railroad played Shea Stadium, which is a huge place.
Yeah.
And they say they can't hear this or they can't hear that, or they got to wear these plugs to hear each other. Well, in '69 or '71, whenever they played Shea Stadium, I'm sure they didn't have that crap in their ears.
Oh,
The Beatles didn't have that crap in their ears.
oh, yep.
Led Zeppelin didn't have that crap.
Yep. You get used to that technology, and then you
Yeah,
can't do it without it. And
yeah,
it's almost a bad thing, that technology is very helpful, but maybe too helpful.
yeah.
It's a good
I'll
way.
never do it, Scott. What you hear live is what you hear live, and like Crimes. I didn't even dub my vocals, bro. I
Yeah,
mean, those verses, I didn't even double them. Nothing.
yeah,
That's straight one track. And
yeah,
same with Hell and High Heel, Racing on the Sunset Strip.
yeah.
It's the same way. I thought back and I told the guy, I said, I'm not gonna. I don't have to double these. And he goes, "No, you don't." And I'm not going. I know, and
Yep.
I don't want to. I like the pureness in that of it. It's just. And then you get in there and then you try and have to copy what you've just done, and I'm like, nah, just leave it.
Right.
Just leave it.
Yeah,
And
I think at that point when you've sung it for the 33rd time, the heart and the passion and the soul is not there anymore.
there were like first takes,
Yeah,
first, second, third takes,
yeah,
and the guy going, Mike goes, he goes, well, when I first got in there, it was Just Do It. He goes, well, why don't you go back home and learn the song, right? And learn what you're doing and then come back and sing it all the way through. He goes, I feel that, and I go, no, I got this. I can do it now. And he's like, okay. And I proved him right. I mean, that I
right,
could do that. I proved myself right, whatever.
right.
So it's like I stayed and I just did it. And it was like I made it up in the studio like I do my solos.
Mhm.
And that's how I approach my vocals as well. I don't sit here and try and get them all perfect at all. I try to get the concept, the lyrics, and then I go in and
piece it together.
I piece it together and I put. I feel emotion takes you a lot further than
Totally.
other things.
Yeah.
And there's never a click track. And I don't with Danny. We don't have to. We were able to fly a few things in. People don't know what that means. You can take a chorus and do one chorus, and then you can move that to the next one and use it. And we've done that. I don't mind flying in. You don't have to do the chorus over and over and over again,
Right.
and burn your voice out. And the choruses, of course, I would overdub those. But that's how people fly things in, and
Sure.
you could take nowadays with the technology, you could take this part and that part. But I will say one thing. What song was it? It was Insanity. I had 13 guitar takes in that.
Wow.
And he sat there and he went through them all, and he sent me what he thought was right, and he sent me all the tracks, and we were really in tune together really well, because the exact parts I liked, he liked as well, and we did Peach Sat solo together.
Yeah.
There was 13, and I usually do one take or two take or three takes.
Right.
And like in Hollywood, that was one take all the way through. And I've done that many a times where it's just one take all the way through. Yeah. But this is one of the first times I've done that.
Yeah. Wow. And and that's great when you can be on the same page with the guy producing and taking the recording the record.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
But we're both producing. I would consider him a part producer, and when the album comes out, I'm definitely adding his name as a producer as well.
Yeah.
Because and we're just really he had the exact parts I would have used. I would have picked, and I just went go for it. And since I heard that, after he heard me do that about vocals, he's never said another thing. And after I've heard that, I've never said another thing. So we both have an understanding now, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And
that's great. That's great. It's so important when you're recording together, for sure.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, people, if they, want to know how songs are done, well, at least my way, I like to do things as live as possible. Mm-hmm. I don't like it to be overly fake, but, I tried to. I just kept laying down tracks, and I love playing along with the song, and I just was in this zone and just kept another one, and well, by the time we were done, it was 13 tracks.
Wow!
Which is kind of funny, the number 13, and it's kind of the spooky song.
Yeah, right. No doubt. Yeah, that's cool, and it was a great job putting that together because it sounds great, and the guitars, especially, like I say, got a great sound to them. All right, so Dale, you've got all these songs. Do we know when the record's gonna be released? Do you have a tentative kind of area release date?
If you ask me next Wednesday or Thursday, I can tell you.
Right. You're going in.
I'm not worried about hot sax, all right? I'm not worried about that one. That's pretty simple, but if I can get and this next song is really, it's got a lot of parts, and it's pretty cool, and it's really it's up to date as well. It's got like 4 different things. It's about a 4.5-4 minute song, over 4 minutes, but it's just if I can get past this one next Wednesday, then I think it's going to be pretty soon.
Cool.
I'm going to go back in. I'm going to button up Running Like an Outlaw, because when I first started singing, Scott, I didn't know I had that high that I have now. Right. I was running like an outlaw, and I'm running like an outlaw. I've got a certain thing now that I didn't know I had.
Yeah, cool.
And I do it live all the time. I go up to that other note, and basically an octave, I believe, and so I'm going to add that. I'm going to have him remix it, and I'm probably going to do a few things to On My Way and Band Plays On, and those are going to also be on the album. So I'm putting it all on one.
Man, that is great. And you mentioned getting out on the road again. Do you have dates or anything like that? When do you?
We're waiting on 4 huge dates right now.
Okay.
In Florida, and I'm not allowed to say it yet. And I wish I could announce it today really badly. It's with opening for a girl. She's been around a long time. She's actively playing all over the place. We're supposed to be playing direct support for 2 of them, and 2 other ones were on the bill. The 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st in Florida. And starting, I think the first one is Fort Wayne, and then Cocoa Beach, and one's in Jacksonville, but I'm not sure where the other one's at. So we'll literally be on tour with this girl from a band from the early 80s They were a girl band, and she's actively playing. How can I say that?
There you go.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so
We can have our ideas on that one. Everybody's gonna have
yeah,
an
yeah,
idea.
so it's going to be like a mini tour, and if that comes through, and it's supposed to, so I just can't announce it yet.
Right.
We also are going to be back in the whiskey in Hollywood for, you know, I guess it could be my birthday celebration as well. That's September 19th with Betsy from Bitch, with Bitch
Yeah.
from Betsy.
Yeah.
And she's going to be in the documentary. And we were playing there, and I'm thinking, I don't want to just play alone. I'd like to have Betsy, and
Yeah.
I contacted her, and she said, sure, why not? So we're co-headlining
That's
together.
that's
And
she's
yeah,
another one. Just been around for a long time. She looks great. She's still doing
yeah,
it. It's really cool. That's cool.
yeah. She did a really nice clip for the documentary, and she talks about the whiskey. And so I want to put it out because she does talk about the whiskey and as like an advertisement, but we got to save it for the documentary.
Right.
And that's almost getting close to being done. My wife's coming
Yeah.
along.
Yeah.
She just needs to get her stuff over here, and we can start wrapping it up. And there's a few other we're waiting for. Tarja and Brian, Bill Montoya
Yeah.
from Metal Blade. He's
Yeah.
going to be in there. And then Tarja from that was with Metal Blade for a long time. What's that?
From Snow.
Oh yeah, Doug Ellison.
Yeah.
Is in it from Snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He was with Quiet Riot and Doug Ellison, and we played with them at the whiskey. It was I think 2019, 2017.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and he did a really nice thing in there. So
That's
some real good things gonna be in
yeah.
it.
Man, that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
I do a lot of my talking. I'm driving the bus to the motorhome, and we were actually taking the boat out on one of the times. I like to talk when I'm driving, and I've driven a lot in my lifetime over the years,
Right.
and it's kind of my comfort zone. It's kind of like my escape. It's kind of like I love to drive.
Yeah. See, I do too. And I've gone on trips with the family, just around the states and stuff. And I get my music and I get my family there and good conversation, and it's like you say, it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
It's really a comfort zone for me too. I
Oh,
got
that's cool.
all the things I love are right there, and we have time, and we usually take our time getting where we're going, and we enjoy each other.
Good.
It's
You enjoy
really
it? Yeah.
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 So
That's what it's all about.
yeah,
I want to thank Curtain Call, and I want to thank John Coons for everything he's been doing and helping out with the band. This downtime for Jeffrey is real bad, and we were going to sign with a few different labels, and we had labels trying to sign us, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to do it. If I do anything, I know enough to where I could just get the songs out there to the people that care.
yep,
And if I'm not looking for charting, we're not looking for charting. We're getting airplay. We got Tim Binder working the radios for us, but we're not trying to chart right now. It's like it doesn't really matter that much. I'm looking more. I just want to get the music out there. That's all I want. That the other stuff doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It did. It was fun. It was exciting, but that's not what we're working on. We're just working on like the new song that we're working on is so far away from a charting song.
Right.
It's not even funny.
Right.
And I wanted, like I said, Curtain Call and John Coons. He's been just really great to us, and a lot of and really helping to fill that void that we have with Jeffrey. from Darkstar. Jeffrey was a one of a kind person, a great human being, a great individual, anybody would love to have to work with as a record company. And John is a lot like that. And I've told him that, and he's like, and I don't know if he ever really, I've got to ask him, if they really ever talked, but they're a lot very similar, and they listen, and Jeffrey's getting better, by the way. It seems like his Facebook things are coming along, but last we heard that he couldn't read. I don't know what the updates are on that, but I wish him the best, and I keep hoping for great progress with him. Not sure where it's going to go, but you get a traumatic brain injury. It doesn't usually go well,
Right.
without being negative. It's but like I said, there's a lot of other great things, and with a little bit of help from a few other people, and Jody Best, and
this is so great, Dale. It's great to have you on the show and talk about what you got going on, but connect with you as a person, because you guys are just very special people, and I appreciate
I
you.
love your pictures. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
And go to angelaband.com.
Yes.
And
we'll have all the links, and links to the great videos, and links to the site where everybody can get the music and the merch. And we'll look forward to seeing you out on the road. The documentary, so many things going on, more music, an album. It's great, Dale. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so happy for me that I get to enjoy your art. It's
well, we are gonna meet, and we're gonna be in front of your camera.
Yes.
And that's one of my goals.
I look so forward to that.
We're gonna be there. We're gonna be there. So we'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Dale. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Connie, thank you so much too. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Want to come over here and say goodbye?
Okay.
Say bye, Scott.
Bye, Scott.
Bye. Great to see you guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.